episode 11. Reviews from the crawl space. I'm Douglas.
I'm Vicky.
I want to say I was looking forward to albums again, and we'll find out why that is a bad idea. You know what? I look forward to albums here because either they don't exist in their sleeve or they're horrible.
Yeah, I really thought this week was going to be
different
because we've had episodes in the past where the albums have just been like horrendous.
Yeah.
So
when we saw
the three that were coming up for this episode, we were excited.
Yeah, well, I thought, hey, some different stuff and stuff that we will enjoy for the most part. We had three anyway. Yeah. So let's show you what those three albums are right now.
All right. So this season is Tears for Fears.
Tears for Fears.
Songs from the Big Chair. Don Henley, I Can't Stand Still.
Can't Stand Still.
And Harry Chapin, Greatest Hits and Stories Live. It's a double album.
It's not Greatest Hits and Stories Live. It's actually just Greatest Stories Live.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so Greatest Stories Live.
Which I think is part of the problem. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Okay, number one, Tears for Fears.
Okay.
Song from the Big Chair.
Tears for Fears is an English pop rock band formed in 1981 by Roland Orzabal and Kurt Smith. They're part of the MTV-driven Second British Invasion of the US. Songs from the Big Chair was their second album, released in 1985. It reached number 1 on the Billboard chart, and it remains a best-selling album today.
Yeah.
And I kind of see why. So the song list for this one is, like I said, it was their second album. And the very first song on side 1 is Shout, which, who doesn't know that song?
Shout, even now, like, I don't know who listens to radio, but yeah, Shout is still, like, probably the number 1 played song for them. Everybody knows it.
And song 2 is called The Working Hour, and one thing that I have written down in my notes is lots of sax. And we all know how Doug likes sax.
It's not my fault that it's the worst instrument ever created. It is. It is. If they would replace those sax parts with a guitar...
Yeah, I tend to agree with you on that.
It would have been great. It would have been fine. It would have been a great little rock song. Sax is just like...
what was with the 80s and all the sax?
It was just that, just that time. I don't know. I'm glad it went away.
Yeah, me too.
I can't stand it. So anyways, The Working Hour, and number 3 was...
Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
I mean, once again, boom, already 3 songs, 2 of them are massive, gigantic hits that everybody knows.
Yeah. And one of my favorite songs. The next one is Mother's Talk.
Yeah. Which is also another pretty well known. If you're at least even a fan of the genre, you'll know the song.
Or a fan of Tears for Fears.
Pop 80s.
And this one had a lot of really cool bass, had a really cool bass line.
Yeah.
And lots of really cool percussion.
There's a bass line in there. It's like, Primus wasn't out. I don't think Primus would have been out yet, but there's definitely a Primus-esque line in there, the bass line at one point, which is kind of popping and slapping all over the place.
Not quite Primus-y, but okay. I'll give you a little bit of it.
A little bit in there. It's towards the end, the last third of the song or something. Once again, that's another Grand Theft Auto. Thank you, Grand Theft Auto, for that.
Yeah.
Okay, side 2. That's the side 1. So side 2 is starts off with I Believe,
which I've been singing all week in my head.
Mm-hmm. Really, I Believe?
Yeah. Just the first part, I believe that because I don't know the words. Yeah. But it's been kind of playing in my head from time to time over the week.
And then Broken, which is really a shorter song. Sorry, so that's I Believe is number 1. Number 2 is on the second side is Broken. Nothing really stands out there. It's really just an intro to number 3, which is Head Over Heels, which as far as I'm concerned, is the best song on the fucking album. Head Over Heels. Oh, really? See, that's my favorite one. Except for Mad World, on this album, that's my favorite one.
True.
Head Over Heels is...
Yeah, see, I like Everybody Wants to Rule the World, too. So I'm kind of torn between Head Over Heels and Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
I think because maybe Head Over Heels is a little bit darker.
Could be, yeah.
In lyric and tone and stuff like that.
True.
Okay, so then it goes into the final song, 4th on the album. I love these short pop albums, I really do. Is the last song is Listen. And it doesn't belong. It doesn't. It should be Broken, Head Over Heels, And that's the end of the. I mean, you can't leave just have 3 songs. That you're not Pink Floyd or Black Sabbath. You got to have more than that. But Listen makes no sense. It's fine. It's an instrumental where there's no lyrics in it.
Yes, there is lyrics.
No,
and
I said when there isn't.
Okay.
It's a good song.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a total throwaway song on that album.
Yeah, I really wish that it didn't have lyrics. I wish, because I loved the instrumental part. The lyrics don't kick in till almost the end of the song. And I would have just been happy to complete listening to that.
Yeah.
As it was, no lyrics.
It's a song. If you're gonna play it, that's the last side of a party that you play, because Listen will clear that place out. It makes no sense from a writing standpoint and emotional standpoint. Head Over Heels, and then I think there's like an outro for Broken. That really, it ends there. It should end there, but then you're like, it's a whole other 6-minute song of just half or mostly ambient, and then
some lyrics thrown in at the end.
Yeah, and it's just like that was tacked on and be like, shit, we need some balance. Okay, let's throw this on here. I'd rather they put Listen towards the beginning of the album, just so you could skip it and play the rest of it.
Yeah.
But that's probably why they don't do that.
Yeah, maybe.
So overall impressions. I like this album. I mean, if you at all like the 80s pop, mainstream, like pop rock kind of stuff, then a good chunk of those songs are hits. I like it. I like the album. I like the songs, except for the last one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I said. I was looking forward to actually listening to this album. It's like, fucking finally.
Yeah. I was a big fan of Tears for Fears in the 80s, and I had this album, and I played it a lot. So... It's a solid pop album. It's short. It's got songs that you like on it. In and out. You've enjoyed your time. Yeah. That's what I like. I like about it. This doesn't require... I mean, I don't like all of the albums to be disposable like that, but, I think a couple of songs in there that you would crank it up. So yeah, definitely.
Cool. Okay. Artwork.
Producer.
Chris Hughes. Chris Hughes produced it.
Chris Hughes. He also produced albums for Robert Plant, Peter Gabriel, Howard Jones, and Wang Chung.
Oh.
Everybody Wang
So
Chung.
he's got his 80s pop rock.
Yeah.
Feel down.
He's got it
wheelhouse
nailed down. Yeah.
So how about now?
Okay. Go ahead, talk about that album art.
Family Portrait. People who aren't related.
Black and white.
Black and white. Looking. It would have been better if he was like looking off instead of looking straight forward. You'd be like, whatever.
But that's not it's not a whatever album.
Whatever. Well, I don't even care. Whatever.
And then could he be shrugging his shoulders in the background too? Whatever.
And on the back is mostly black. List the logo.
Yeah, the logo.
Even the logo is pretty
What about the inside?
Oh,
okay. Yeah, I did write that down after.
Yeah.
So the inside black album cover with a pic of the band on one side.
Yeah.
And song titles in white on the other.
So there you go. Kind of surprised that, especially like these guys, you think they'd have lyrics somewhere. Because
a lot of albums in the 80s had lyrics.
Yeah, and these seem like ones that would be kind of like the lyrics aren't bad, because it's all about, some of them are about finding out where you are in the world and shit like that. Rating, sorry. Oh no. Condition. We've gone through. It's in other than the corners being a little nipped up here.
So near mint, I guess.
Yeah, near mint. The album's in mint. No.
I don't know what the one down below near mint is.
Okay.
It's the one below down near mint. Down below near mint.
Yes, below. But the vinyl's in perfect condition.
But the vinyl is mint.
Sounded great, and he pops the scratches. But a little bit of blood. I hope stains. Maybe that's kind of interesting there. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Tears.
He was Tears for Fears.
Yeah.
So the cost of the album in the worst condition is $5.94. The mid condition is $9.97, and in mint condition, it would be worth $19.94.
Wow. You get a paper towel, wipe that up a little bit.
Take the Tears for Fears off.
Yeah. We're definitely not getting a full 20. Well, maybe. That's pretty banged up, but if someone wants it bad enough.
Yeah, right. Somewhere between 10 and 20 we'd get for it, I guess.
Tears for Fears down.
So this one is collection worthy for me.
Yeah, I'm with you, of course. It's like a staple of that. Like, it's one of those albums that, I'm with you on that one. It stays around and it gets listened to, because I would listen to some of their songs regardless. So.
Yeah. All right, on to album number 2, Don Henley, I Can't Stand Still.
Can't Stand Still from Don Henley. Now, this is one of the ones I wasn't necessarily looking forward to because I really don't like Don Henley stuff, solo stuff. I really don't care about it. It's like just a water.
Okay.
Oh shit! Sorry. I'm not staying in there. Fuck Don Henley.
So Don Henley is an American singer-songwriter, producer, and a drummer, best known for being the founding member of the Eagles. Henley was the drummer and co-lead singer for the Eagles from 1971 to 1980 when the band broke up, and then again from 1994 to 2016 when they reunited until Glenn Frey's death.
Just somewhat recently, last year.
2017. Yeah.
Last year, wow. Yeah.
So then they reformed the band again in 2017, and now they're playing rock festivals.
Mm-hmm.
So, and in the place of Glenn Frey is Glenn Frey's son.
No, they're doing that. Okay.
Yeah. So, and actually they're on tour. I see that they're coming to Vancouver. The Eagles, that is.
The Eagles, yeah.
Yeah. So I Can't Stand Still was Don Henley's first solo album.
Yep.
And it was recorded in 1982.
Debut solo album. Yeah, just quickly, it's a first run. There are no other. The numbers associated with first run, first pressing, whatever, for Canada, which is boom. Okay, song list is the title track, boom, I Can't Stand Still, which was about some crazy bitch that was tripping.
Yeah.
And
Bitches be tripping.
Bitches be tripping, and he wanted her, but she'd be tripping. Bitches be tripping. So he was like, "Arr." So song number 2 is You Better Hang Up. So at this point, he's warning other dudes, bitches be tripping. She's going to New York, and bitches be tripping. So that's all series of the first 2 songs are fucking horrifying. And it's all that slow, like, not quite country, not quite, it's just like mediocre pop.
And then the next song.
Sorry, the next one with A Long Way Home.
Had a lot of sha-la-la-las in it.
La sha-la-las.
It was very repetitive.
A lot less bitches be tripping in this one.
Yeah. He tried to make it seem happy with the sha-la-la-las.
Yeah. The next one is Nobody's Business.
Now this one is with Bob Seger and J.D. Souther doing background vocals, which is interesting, I guess. But
to me, yeah, and that's kind of like goes to the like pseudo new country crap. Like I said, it's like you said, it's the Eagles but super watered down.
Oh yeah, it's Don Henley
It's
without
yucky.
it's
Don Henley.
it's so Eagles, but there's no Eagles. There's just Don Henley.
Okay, side 2, and this is, I mean, and we'll get into this. This is actual. You can go and look this up. Side 2 is the big track, and probably one of his, if not his biggest fucking song, is "Dirty Laundry." Everybody knows it. It's been used in movies all the time. It does not fit anywhere near this album. It clearly wasn't intended.
Because it's a hit.
Yeah. It clearly, and it's just in everything, because it's like dirty laundry. Like everything else is kind of country and twangy-ish and soft.
and
but this
Eaglish.
is more, and English. And this is more kind of rock, and it doesn't fit in with the rest of the album at all.
Yeah.
They said put this fucking song in here because the album sucks without it, and that's the only reason I guarantee you this shit sold that as many copies. Okay.
Yeah. I agree with you there.
And the second song on side 2, actually kind of goes in with it, and it caused a bit of a hoopla, which is, it's funny because it's true. It's called Johnny Can't Read. And the whole song is just about this idiot growing up, and no one teaches him to do anything proper, or doesn't learn to read, doesn't learn to write, doesn't any of that stuff. Turns out he's a criminal, ends up shooting somebody and goes to jail. And it just talks about how, the system's failing kids, and how they're turning out dumb kids out of school, and useless. Anyways, it's like, it's not really, it sounds good, but it's not really that great of a song. It should be a good song, but it's not a good song. I get its theme, and I agree with it.
And it's funny how the U.S., I'm going to get a little political here.
Yep. There we go.
How the U.S. Seems to get all offended by things that are true about their country.
Yeah, when they're true, they get angry about it. Yeah. So, yeah, it also really doesn't fit with the rest of the album.
No.
Because everything after those Dirty Laundry and Johnny Can't Read, you get into Them and Us. Which, honestly, I don't remember anything about other than it being soft, slow, twangy.
Yeah.
And then what's that next one? Why is it in a different font than everything else?
Well, because it's a traditional folk song or something.
Oh, that's
some traditional
Irish
religious song or.
Yeah, whatever. It's I'm gonna put it on here somewhere on the screen. Yeah, like I said, it's a hymn / religious thing. It's just like, okay, we gotta pander now. You know, some kind of country. Gotta pander to them country people. Hashtag political. So the next one was Lila.
Yeah.
Lila, and then The Unclouded Day.
Now that's a really cool song title.
The Unclouded Day,
And,
yeah. It's
and it would have been a really cool song, but it wasn't.
It wasn't. No. So no, I mean, like I said, I knew going into this wasn't going to be great. Dirty Laundry's on there, and honestly, that's the only thing that stands out. It doesn't really, nothing else. Everything else is kind of the same. They said Dirty Laundry, Johnny Can't Read. Everything else is like some sort of country or hymn or something like that.
Or
soft.
Eagle-ish.
Eagle-ish, but really tranquilized. Okay, so as a whole, yeah, we discussed it as a whole. It sucks. Producer was.
I did not write down producers for this
Well,
album.
we must have really hated it. So here you go.
Yeah, I must have really hated it. Produced by Don Henley, Danny Korchmar, and Greg Londoni. I don't know.
And that's who produced it. We didn't look it up.
Don Henley had something to do with it, and that explains why it's
Wildly mediocre.
Don Henley-ish.
Okay, before I get into talking about the actual cover, it's in. Yeah.
I have a Doug quote here.
Yeah, no, hold on a sec. I just want to get into the condition. It's in great condition. Like, honestly, it's like somebody, whoever bought it, didn't listen to it. Because it sucks. But it's in great. The vinyl's perfect. The case is perfect.
Yeah.
It's like, honestly, it's almost new.
You didn't talk about the album art either.
I mean, that's what I said. Let me do this out of the way. Oh, see, look at there we go. All the lyrics that everybody's clamoring for Don Henley.
Yes.
The only thing I actually like about this album, I like the album art a lot. I don't know if you guys can see it there. I'll put a picture up if you can't. It's too glare. I know it seems basic, but the composition is actually like they actually put some effort into this. The way the composition is here, the floor. Everything's on a bit of an angle. The clock here just after midnight. But if you change it to the backside, it's, time has passed. It's more. I actually like this. There's stuff going on here. Somebody, not Don Henley, put some fucking time into this. And I'll give them credit because it's one of the.
Art direction?
Photography. Joanne
Callius?
Whoever did it. Good job. This is the best thing he did on this album. Wasn't the thing that he did. I like
the thing that he
the thing that never happened. Yeah,
happened to.
I like that album cover, just because it's different and like you guys have seen. It's garbage out there. Anyways, Don Henley down. We know.
Well, not yet. I have a Doug quote here.
Okay, a Doug quote.
One of your quotes about this album was that you felt like you were slowly drowning in a vat full of shit-flavored molasses.
Come on, do you guys even need to know what the review for, what the rating is on this one?
So, we decided that both the media and the cover was mint?
Mint, yeah.
Okay. And just before he gets into this last little bit, the cost. In bad condition, $2.47. In mid condition, $3.92. And in mint condition, $6.23. Mm-hmm. So you can see how much the world values Don Henley, I Can't Stand Still. $6.23 for mint condition.
Just still too much.
So, dumpster!
Yeah, dumpster. Yeah, let's just move on.
Burn it. Burn it. Burn it with fire. Now the last but not least, Harry Chapin.
This is an example.
Greatest Stories Live.
I'll pull it up here. And you can imagine what I'm going to say about this album cover right away.
But we'll talk about that later.
We'll get there. And let's see, there's that, and then there's a little story here. Anyways, Vic.
It looks like a pretty big story, actually.
No, I'll tell you about it in a minute.
Okay, Harry Chapin was an American singer-songwriter, activist, humanitarian, filmmaker, and producer, best known for his folk rock songs. By the start of the 70s, he had achieved worldwide fame, and by the end of the decade, he had become one of the most popular artists and highest paid performers. Gone way too soon. He died at the age of 38 in a car accident in 1981. He was an outstanding human, and the world is worse off without him. Those are my comments. That last bit.
They're not really?
Yes.
Oh.
I really think that he, in his time on this earth, he gave a lot to humanity.
Okay.
So
I can argue with that.
I think we're worse off to him. And when I hear his songs, I get sad and think, I wish that he were still alive.
Huh. That's not what I think when I hear his songs.
So, the release date info for this album was that it was released in 1975. It is a live double album.
It is.
And,
So I'll give you the gist of what the story is, just because it kind of ties in with that. The story in the inside cover here is just from Harry, just talking about, up until the point of this, so this is 75, they had toured a ton, but he had no live albums out. He just done his regular studio albums, but he had done, and then people kept saying, why don't you do a live to capture the atmosphere and stuff like that? Why don't you do a live album? So he's like, okay. So they did a live album. And that's the story inside.
well, kudos to you for reading that stuff.
Yeah, I read it all right there.
I do the other stuff, and you do the kind of album work.
The song list.
Now the song list, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to warn you guys, this is a double album, and there was, 14 or 16 songs?
There's a lot on here, yeah.
Too many. It's okay, so the whole thing with this album here is that when we picked these 3 albums to do, like I said, 2 out of 3 I was looking for. I knew Cats in the Cradle, and you said, I probably heard the other one you said was Taxi.
Taxi, yeah.
Now, if you've heard Cats in the Cradle, you fucking heard his stuff. That's it. Like, that's really it. That's the scope of it. The lyrics might change a little bit, but you've got the gist of it. And I was going in thinking that, okay, maybe I knew Cats in the Cradle and that. I thought maybe I could, learn some new stuff. It's got to be a great way if this is going to be, greatest stories live. Honestly, it was probably as painful as the Evita. Actually, worse than Evita for me because
it was 2 albums.
2 albums. 2 fucking albums long of the same song. Seriously, I know I can appreciate Harry Chapin and what he does and his writing abilities and producing and shit like that, but is 14 of the same song. Don't kid yourself. And some of those same songs are 11 minutes long. I don't like folk music. And coming into this, trying to discover his stuff, I would say listen to his studio albums first. Because when you go into listening to a double album of live, it's like smashing up against a wall that I am not familiar with at all. And it made it impossible to get into it. By the time I got around to a song or 2 that I knew and liked, I did not fucking care. Well, let's go through the song titles.
And I'm going to kind of give my impression of the whole album as
please.
well.
Yeah.
I realized after listening to this album that I have really romanticized Harry Chapin because of the songs of his that I know and like, and that includes Cats in the Cradle, WOLD, and Taxi, and a few others that were in there that I'm kind of familiar with. But like Doug, by the end of it, I felt like I'd been beaten over the head. So, I'm still a Harry Chapin fan. He's a beautiful storyteller.
Yeah.
However, I guess for me, it was just too much at one time.
It's too much at one time, and the same thing, and that's what turned me off so badly. And I said to Vic before when we were talking about this was that if these songs, and it happens, some of these gets mixed in with classic rock stuff that we listen to, and it's fine, and that's where you need to in with other,
the one-offs,
in with other stuff,
yeah.
So you can break it down and listen to it. But just 4 sides, man, was just the same thing, and his songs are all constructed relatively the same, really same-ish lyrics. This really narrow band of
just stories about
life
people's
stuff.
People's and places and times gone by. And
coffee shop, I'm putting my shirt on, and fuck, okay, dude, we get it.
Yeah, so
I don't care that much.
I have to agree with you on that.
So we'll go through the songs, and now that we've talked about the album, unless you have anything to add, we don't really need to talk about the songs, because honestly, don't know any of them. Okay, side 1 of the first album, Dreams Go By. Number 2 is WOLD. 3 is Saturday Morning. 4 is I Want to Learn a Love Song.
That's another one I'm familiar with.
Yeah, and actually now that I think about it, I probably have heard that one before in its non-live version.
Right.
So side 2 of the first album is Mr. Tanner, A Better Place to Be.
Another one I'm familiar with.
A Better Place to Be?
Yeah.
And Let Time Go Lightly. Side 3, so second album, side 1 of the second album is Cats in the Cradle, which we all know and we all like. And honestly, it's I could go play Grand Theft Auto unless it's fucking on there in Grand Theft Auto. Honestly, I know I mention it so much, but you guys have no idea what a great job of cross-sectioning pop culture of on various levels.
Yeah, I've even learned a few things from just sitting in the same room with Doug while he's playing that game. With the radio stations going. It's
Yeah.
like, wow, I haven't heard this song for a while.
And that's the thing, I'd love to buy the whole collection. Anyways, we're gonna
You're getting off track.
second song is Taxi,
Which is one of my favorite favorite
and it's
Mary
too bad.
Chapin songs.
It's too bad those ones are Taxi and Cats in the Cradle aren't until side 3. By then, it's just like I don't care anymore. So, and the last song on that side is called Circle. So the very last side, or they call it side 4, is 30,000 Pounds of Bananas.
Which has something to do with him meeting his wife.
Yeah.
But it's a silly, long song.
It is a silly
Yeah,
long
one
song.
I'm familiar with as well.
And then She's Always 17. Love Is Just Another Word. And The Shortest Story. Produced by his brother,
Yeah.
Stephen Chapin, and I think it was his buddy, Fred.
Yeah, somebody that played in the band.
Yeah, it was one of the,
Yeah.
one of the band's buddies, whatever. And then while some of these songs were they're strictly just written by Harry, or they were done by his wife, him and his wife, or him and his band or brothers. And
Yeah, so it's very incestuous.
very incestuous, yeah, and that's folk music usually is.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've talked to the songs, we've talked about that. Just profound disappointment for me.
Yeah, me too. I learned that I can only take Harry Chapin in short.
Burst little.
In short bursts, and I'm very disappointed by that.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I just was like, oh, I was swooning when I
You
saw that
like,
we were like, oh, Harry
Yeah.
Chapin.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I was like, can we please take it off?
Now, if you love
Very
this,
similar to Evita.
if you like this kind of folk music, then
It just went on too long.
yeah, if you're a fan, this is for you. If you're not a fan, don't start here. Start somewhere else.
Yeah.
And start in small blocks.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next? Condition. She's not a little dusty, surprisingly, for some reason, but outside of that, it's not bad. The little beat up corners.
So, near mint.
Near mint. And inside it's in great condition. There's no water stains or anything. It just needs a wiping with a Swiffer.
And the media?
And the media was great. Like, it was like new. Like, there was no scratches or anything. It just needs a cleaning. Like a dusting. So yeah, that's in great condition. So what was the cost on this one?
The cost in worst condition, $1.23. In mid condition, $2.99.
Mm-hmm.
And quite a big jump here to mint condition, but $14.33. Which between
I could see
mint
close
to
to
mint.
close to 15 for that. Like I said, to me, the vinyl's in the best condition. I've seen, there's ones in here where the case is in great condition, the vinyl's destroyed. But these ones all have been like vinyl's mint.
Well, and for us too, it's not about how much we can get for these albums because that's not our main purpose. We just thought it would be an interesting aspect
Yeah.
to the whole reviewing these albums.
Finding
Just-
a hidden gem.
and since the information was available through Discogs, we love you, Discogs. We thought it would be something interesting to share. So
Okay.
that's the only reason that we do.
Quickly before we wrap this up, because we're probably, if it hasn't stopped already, we're probably almost out of time. I just want to talk about the cover real quick.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry.
Like, subscribe, that stuff. That's terrible. I know someone actually took a picture of it, and they probably paid that person. Man, that's shit I would throw away if it was at a buddy's gig or something, and I saw that. For the most part, those don't make it. I don't know, it's kind of disappointing. It'd be something cooler to do. There's just a continuation on the back. and then I've shown in the middle. Hell, any one of those pictures would have been better. But anyways, Harry Chapin down.
So my thing would be dumpster for this one.
Yeah.
If I want to hear Harry Chapin, I will go to
Spotify.
Songster. I would go to Spotify and pick out the
pick and
ones.
choose. Yeah, for sure.
Like.
Yeah, that's just too much. If you're a fan,
yeah,
you're a fan, and if you're not, that's not it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Another episode down.
See you later.
See you guys later. Soon, anyway.